This episode of Now This Is Lit is brought to you by Audible. Check the link in the description to get your first Star Wars audiobook free. Everyone loves free things. Click that link. Do it. This show is also brought to you by our patrons. If you want to support the show in a different way, with just $1 a month, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/StarWarsLitPod. You can get a sticker. You can get access to an exclusive show that we do every month that's wild and chaotic and fun and something you can only get by becoming a member of the Patreon. There'll be so many more perks very, very soon. But for now, do you want a sticker? Do you want a sticker that has a Now This Is Lit logo? Because it's fantastic and I love them. But I also want to give them away because there's just a stack of stickers on my desk. So if you want one, $1 a month. Patreon.com/StarWarsLitPod. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. We've both been doing a lot of reading this year.
Yes.
Star Wars and otherwise. How many books are you at?
I think 41.
That's so, because you did 60 last year, right?
Yes.
So you should be able to pass that this year at this rate, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I'm at like 140 something.
Well, because yours is counting comics.
Well, no, even without the comics, it's like 140
geez.
something, yeah.
Yeah, you need more realistic. I think your reading goal on Goodreads is like 50 books.
Okay. Let me explain. So I set it to 50 to not pressure myself into reading a bunch of stuff rather than doing other things. I just happened to get to 50 very fast and then surpassed it. And it now almost tripled the number. Okay, I'll set a better goal next time. How about that?
Yeah.
But a lot of our reading collectively has been Star Wars.
Yes.
Which has been good. Which is why we're here talking about our reading resolutions for the year. A sort of like mid-year-ish check-in, if you will. It's over, half of the year is over, but that's okay. This will be fun because not only have I completed some of my resolutions already, I also have completed some from last year too that I didn't get to, because if you remember from last year, I didn't complete any of my resolutions.
Yeah.
I had a real hard time, but I will say it's been quite a productive year so far in terms of Star Wars reading. So
Same for me.
yeah. And there's plenty more year to go, obviously. We're both mostly caught up with releases from this year in terms of books. So that's good.
Yeah.
It's fairly easy to keep up with the books. Like, especially now that the High Republic is done, there ideally maybe aren't going to be quite as many coming out every year. We'll see, I guess. I don't know that for sure, but it's likely, I suppose.
I think so.
Yeah. But let's talk about what we've read so far this year in terms of resolutions and otherwise. You can go first if you want.
Yeah. So to recap, we each had 4 resolutions.
Yeah.
So the 4 resolutions that I had for 2025 were, I was going to read / catch up on all the Vader comics. So the 2020 run, go back to the 2017 run, which I started at one point and never finished. Get your black, white, and reds, all those kind of assorted ones in there too. So that was one of them. By way of lead up to Master of Evil that comes out this fall. Woo. I was going to reread / revisit Light of the Jedi. I was going to reread / finish reading from a certain point of view The Empire Strikes Back, which I started a few years back, and then started reading other stuff and then never finished. And then I was going to read the X-Wing books.
That's a lot.
Yes. So I guess I'll just go through each of those and we can kind of talk about them a little bit. So some of ours will overlap, not in the sense of you have the same resolutions, but you have also done these things.
Yeah.
So starting from the top, which is the Darth Vader comics. So I have not finished this resolution, but I've made a lot of headway. I ended up reading so far the entirety of the 2020 Greg Pak run.
Wow.
I still have the 2017 run to do, and then your miscellaneous Darth Vader comics to read. But I have done the biggest task in terms of just sheer length, which was doing the 2020 Vader comics.
Because it's 50 issues.
Because it's 50 issues.
And the finale is quite long.
And the finale is quite long, too. And I know you, again, this was not one of your resolutions, but you also read them because you are trying to just read more comics. I know, is read more comics one of your resolutions?
No, but I am trying to read more comics.
So as part of reading more comics, you have also read the 2020 run.
Hold on. Where did that come from?
Well, her little one has been in here for a while.
Okay.
I don't know where the other one is.
Okay. Sorry. It's kind of like that time she just pulled it out of the couch.
Yeah. So I guess we can at least talk about the 2020 run since we've both mutually read it.
Yeah, I have read the 2017 one.
Yeah.
I haven't read the one that came before that.
Yeah, the OG Charles Soule run.
No, the one that came before that. There's like a 2015 Vader comic.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the OG Charles Soule.
Charles Soule is the 2017 one.
I think he's both of them.
Is he?
Yes. Because he did the 2015 run, the original one, is set in between A New Hope and Empire.
I thought someone else did the 2015 one.
Charles Soule did the 2015.
What am I thinking of then?
I don't know. Maybe you're thinking of the 2020, which is Greg Pak.
Because I know Afra originates in the 2015
I'll
one.
confirm.
I know. I could be wrong.
Shoot. Kieran Gillen.
That's it.
All right. I don't know why I thought. Okay, so Soule did the 17.
Yeah. And there was one before that.
Bad.
How many issues is the 2015 one?
The 15 one is 25. So it's actually not much. Well, 50. So it is shorter.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the original one was...
Sorry, Soule did 17.
17.
And then Pak did 20.
Yeah. So far from what I've read, Soule has done the best one as of late. That I've read.
The 15 one is very, very good.
Oh, you have read that one?
Yes.
Okay, I have not. It makes sense that you would have, though. So which Vader comics do you have left then before we actually talk about the
I have to go back to the 17.
Oh, right, because you didn't finish.
Yes.
But you want to reread the whole thing.
I have to because I don't remember
Fair.
anything about the part of the 17 run that I read.
Fair.
So I have to do that, and then I have to just get the assorted one-shots, whatever else is out there. Oh, that does remind me. I did read, because I did do something that I read the Vader Dark Visions. That's what it's called.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
The one that I've heard things about.
Yes, for reasons.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so that's another sort of, again, miscellany bucket of just one-shot Vader things. So
yeah. He's got a lot of them.
He does.
Arguably too many, as evidenced by... Is there another Vader comic coming out? Or another miniseries or something?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because now we're post Return of the Jedi in the comics.
Oh, right.
At least in the main timeline. The comics, obviously, they hop around the timeline.
No, that makes sense. I mean, like, technically, Vader is in, like, Legacy of Vader, kind of.
Yeah, sure.
Which is, like, the issue 7, because I know you haven't gotten to it yet, is very good.
The whole run is very good.
Yeah, it is very good, but I especially liked. But of course, it's still about Vader, even though it's not.
Yeah.
God damn it. Should we just talk about the 2020 run for a little bit, since we both, like, you read it and then I finished it very recently.
Yes.
Too long. Far too long. With a lot of crossover events. I liked the beginning of it, and I liked all the stuff with the handmaidens for the most part.
Yeah.
Everything.
If it had stopped right before we got to the crossover events, it would have been a solid just run of, I don't know how many, like a dozen, 15, something like that. And it would have been again, wouldn't have been the best, because 15 and 17, I think, are still stronger than even just like that part. But it would have been a solid, respectable Darth Vader comic. Yeah. And that would be it.
It just... My issue with it, if it just becomes about nothing.
Yeah.
It just becomes about, like... First of all, just becomes about how, like, Vader is powerful. Like, we knew that. But then, here's my other issue with it, is you get to the end, and the conclusion for him is Anakin Skywalker is dead. And, like, I guess they do an okay job throughout of, like, you know, he's, like, having flashbacks or visions or whatever back to, like, stuff he did when he was Anakin. But, like, it's nothing new and it's nothing interesting. Like, we already knew he was going to get there. And it just... I think some of the Dark Droid stuff with him was interesting in terms of, like, oh, like, what happens when, like, if and when a force like that can take over Darth Vader because he's so much machine. Yeah. The concept I liked. The execution of so much of this comic is just, I think it's just not for me. I'm more into the comics that are very, like, character driven. And this one is just very much like, what weird force, violent, powerful thing is Vader going to do in this issue? And it's just not for me.
Yeah, we've had this conversation on other times that have been on your show when talking about Star Wars stuff. And, you know, my approach is always, I really try to avoid that saying a certain thing is bad. Yeah. I really try to go for, like you just said, I really try to go for it wasn't for me. Yeah. If I have a negative reaction to a show, to a book, to anything. This one really tested my resolve, because I think stretches of it are just flat out capital B bad. Like, it's not good storytelling. Like, it's just not well done.
No, it kind of is just like, how long can you draw out the fact that Darth Vader is Darth Vader? Yeah.
Like, there are whole stretches of this run that feel like somebody played Mad Libs and then wrote a comic. It's like, Darth Vader is taken over by a droid, then takes a giant crystal and throws it at the Emperor. You know, like, that's how so much of the comic reads. Like, it's just, I don't like it, because it's like, you've got all the people behind it and all of it, and it's like, you don't want to just, like, throw down that verdict, but it's like, there are parts of it I'm reading, it's like, it's just not, like, this is not a situation of, it's not you, it's me, it's not me, it's you. Like, you didn't tell a good story. You didn't, like you said, to your point, you didn't have anything interesting to say.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and I think, like, this is maybe a lesson they will learn from it, is we had the really good Vader run in 2017, and that added a lot of interesting elements to Vader's character in that in-between time, right? Yeah. Because it's all in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, right?
Yes, yeah, it's very immediately post-Revenge of the Sith.
I think, like, the lesson here is, like, we don't need to tell more Vader stories if there's nothing new to say. Yes. And I think that's an interesting point to think about as we're approaching Master of Evil, because, like, I even asked him, in an interview that I won't say anything more about, I asked Adam Christopher, I was like, why tell another Vader story now? And, part of it is there hasn't been a novel with Vader in it prominently for 10 years. He is an iconic character. You're approaching slowly the 50th anniversary of all of Star Wars, right?
Mm-hmm.
But his point is like, the Master of Evil literally takes place between 2 pages of the Soul comic. Something happens, the entire book happens, and then you get to the next page of the comic, right? There's a story in there that has never been told that is now going to be told in book form, which I think gives a writer more runway to do interesting things, not just with Vader, but with other characters around him. Like, you can do a lot of good stuff with a comic, but also you have limits. And comics are a very specific type of thing where you're often telling a very specific kind of story.
Yeah.
And I think that is like the argument for this upcoming book is like, oh, we found a gap in the story that's going to be pretty interesting from what I know about it. I haven't read the book yet. And like, I think, again, the lesson with the 2020 Vader comic is like, we can't just tell more Vader stories because it's going to sell comics.
Yeah.
Like, will people buy them and will a lot of people like them? Yes. But like, if you don't have anything new to say, what's the point?
Yeah. Or for the sake of like filling in the timeline.
Yeah. Because like, clearly Vader wasn't doing really anything that interesting in this time period.
Yeah. And it's just, it's fine to just paper over that. We can just pick up the story in Jedi.
Yeah.
Like, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
We don't need a day-by-day visualization of his planner. Like, we don't need to know.
And like, listen, if this had been an entire comic about the handmaidens in this time period and they interact with Vader, because the story does work where like you're interacting with Vader for a specific reason.
Yeah.
For this movement. If that had been the comic, excellent. Because I wouldn't have minded getting more Vader if it meant like, oh, we're telling the story from the perspective of someone or a group of people who are trying to avenge the death of Padme Amidala, because you have to have Anakin / Darth Vader in that, because that's how the story is. If it had just been that, I would have been all for it. And there parts of the comic that were following that thread, I found very interesting.
Yeah.
To a point. There were some parts of it I was like, okay, are we gonna keep going with this? That's the other thing about the comic, is just it keeps going. Just when you think it might be over, it just keeps going. And if you're into that, that's fine. But there were so many other things that were not that, and that were not that interesting, and that didn't add, because you always wondered what, like if you read Queen Shadow and you got to that epilogue, you always wondered like, what did Sabe do after this? But how many people actually wondered what was Vader doing before Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
No one ever wondered that. Well, someone wondered it enough to make a comic about it. And listen, like, if you liked it, I'm not saying it was a bad comic. I just personally, that's just not the kind of comic Star Wars related that I was interested in. Personally.
I will be the one here to say it's a bad comic.
Well,
that's how we balance each other in these conversations.
Yeah.
You for obvious, like, for a multiple of reasons, you have a certain approach. I don't have those, like, to quote Anakin Skywalker, I don't have such weaknesses, I just say, when I think something is bad, I'll just say it.
Well, I mean, but like, when you say, oh, this was bad, I think a lot of people do understand that you thought it was bad. That doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. Like, no matter how you phrase it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't want to do the like, it was objectively bad. Like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, you don't want to be the like, this is not worth reading.
Yeah.
I know we mutually know some people who would say that, but that's this is my podcast. So.
Yes. But yes.
Yeah.
That is that. We'll come back to Vader conversation when I get to more Vader comics, earlier ones.
Yeah.
But for now, we'll just talk about 2020.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yes. So that's resolution number 1.
Yeah.
The progress on it so far. Number 2, which one did I say? It was Light of the Jedi.
Yeah.
That was it. That I wanted to reread/revisit Light of the Jedi. In part because, of course, this is the year that we got Trials of the Jedi. And so, since we were ending the High Republic, I wanted to go back to the beginning and just kind of remember where it all started. And also, I had not, as with most High Republic, I've not read it since it came out.
Right.
And particularly with Light of the Jedi, at the time that I read it, when it first came out, I was reading in the context of there was a lot of life stuff happening. And so my attention was being pulled in a lot of different directions.
Yeah.
So it was good to be able to go back to it. So we did that. We actually got to do something really fun because we had a road trip in June. And so we had a lot of listening time. And so we did back-to-back listens of Light of the Jedi and Trials of the Jedi.
Which was the way to do it, let me tell you.
I highly recommend, if you have the opportunity to read/listen to those 2 books back-to-back, definitely do it.
Yeah. There were many parts of this book that I just did not remember.
There was so much. I definitely I overestimated how much of this book I remembered. Because there was some things I remembered, obviously, Great Disaster and all of that. And then I remembered some of the Alfroda stuff where I knew things happened there. And then there was other stuff where we were listening to it, I'm like, huh? Is this a special edition of the book? Like deleted scenes? They put it like the director's cut is in here and like all this other stuff happens? What is all this?
Well, the interesting thing that happened for me is like when I read Trials, I missed a lot of the parallels that were in Light of the Jedi. Like when she goes up to the mountain peak, the Chancellor in Coruscant.
Yes.
That's in Trials. Toward the end, I had forgotten the significance of it being toward the beginning of Light. I totally forgotten that.
100%, me too. And even this is one of the things that I remembered. This was in Light of the Jedi. I vaguely remembered before rereading it. But all the stuff about Bell and him practicing to do the jump and all of that, like falling through the air and all of that comes back. Oh, by the way, spoils for Trials of the Jedi.
Yeah.
We're not going to go too much into detail on Trials, but we're just pointing out something, really kind of peripheral things, that especially out of context mean nothing to you. So, yeah, there were those things. But yeah, there was a lot. It was just like, man, I didn't remember. And I bet if I picked any Phase 1 book at random and reread it, I'd be like, who are you? I don't remember you.
Yeah, exactly.
You're in the as I say, when we did our Space 50s one, I totally memory hold that Stellan Gios is not in Light of the Jedi at all.
He's mentioned like one time.
He's at the end at the dedication for Starlight, and he's not in the book at all. Yeah. Otherwise, I completely forgot that.
Yeah. And there's just like there are a lot of characters that I was just like, I completely forgot that you originated in this book or that you were in this book at all. Or like what you were doing there. But I highly, highly recommend, like if you've just recently finished the High Republic, like if you finished Trials or whatever, like go back and read Light of the Jedi. Like there are fun like things that you completely forgot about that like you will just have like experienced again in a way in Trials.
Yes. We're gonna have a separate conversation on Light of the Jedi
at some point.
At some point, yeah. So we can get into some more kind of specifics because there were other stuff that jumped out at me, particularly when I thought about it in the context of the whole story that we had on the High Republic.
Yeah.
Because obviously they went into this Project Luminous, etc., having a sense of the story and figured out a lot of things. But there are still moments where I sort of felt like, oh, there's some early stuff that maybe they kind of changed their minds on later.
Yeah.
that just kind of jumped out at me when going back to Light, where I have felt where it sort of felt to me like, oh, did they have a different idea about stuff, and then they settled on a particular path later on.
Okay, I'm interested in hearing more about that.
Yeah, there's little things. Again, I might be overreading some things.
That's okay.
But there were some points where I was like, oh, that feels like a different read or spin on things than what we get a little bit later. So it's just interesting to me.
Yeah. Oh, we'll do that soon. Summer really got away from us.
Yeah.
That's okay. All right, what's next?
All right, so we did that. Resolution number 3 was FACPOV.
Yes.
Yes. To reread / finish reading from a certain point of view, The Empire Strikes Back, because I done A New Hope, I done Return of the Jedi, and as I said at the top, I did some of Empire before getting distracted, and so I figured I should do the sweep, get them all done, and so I have done that one too. So yeah, obviously it was implied in the conversation. Second resolution was completed. I did my reread of Light of the Jedi. Third resolution has also been completed. I've read from a certain point of view, The Empire Strikes Back. Thoughts? I think, like all of the 3, or I guess the other 2 from a certain point of view books, is I think it's a mixed bag. And that is not surprising. Because again, the conceit of these things being 40 years, 40 authors, 40 stories. In an anthology where you have 40 authors. Well, there's 2 things going on. There's 2 things with FACPOV, and it's interesting. Like, one is the point that I started saying, which is like, with 40 authors, you're going to basically get 40 different voices and 40 different types of stories. Right. So they will fall on a spectrum in terms of the ones that resonate with you mostly and that you really enjoy, and the ones that you resonate less with, or the styles that don't vibe with you really, or anything like that, right? That's just going to happen if you're going to have that kind of volume of storytelling, that sort of breadth. So that's the sort of 40 authors. Then there's kind of the 40 stories element, which is, I think, the struggle with all of these FACPOVs, and I think all the FACPOVs to come. Presumably they will do these for the prequels and then the sequels once we get to those, those decades and all that, is that none of these movies really have 40 stories to tell outside of the main characters. If you were being really conservative with how many different / interesting stories there are, you would probably top out at 20. If even that, maybe with some of these movies, even maybe just 15 stories. So once you commit to 40, you can feel the struggle, because I can't remember. I lost count of the number of times I heard Lando's broadcast at Cloud City. At least 6 times. I think there's at least 5 or 6 stories in which Lando broadcasting to the residents of Bespin to leave is played out from somebody's perspective. And again, if you were to really do a tight anthology, you would get that 1 time, maybe 2 times. You wouldn't get it 5 times, right? So that's, again, a little bit of struggle with the FACPOV, is there are perspectives on there that really do lend kind of a new angle on things, or give you sort of an interesting perspective, make you think. And then there's other times where it's like, okay, let's get another Cloud City person, I guess. Yeah. So there's a little bit of struggle in there. That's always my struggle with the FACPOV books, is that there's always sections where it's like, there's a little bit of fat here, and we could have just knocked out 2 stories. Now, that all being said, I'll talk about some of the standout ones for me, the ones that I really enjoyed from there. And I think some of them were a little bit, some were definitely a surprise in terms of which ones stood out for me. So maybe my, thing about trimming the fat is bad advice, because you're not going to necessarily know which was the one. Or maybe you will. But anyway, I'll point out some of the ones that really jumped out to me as favorites from this anthology. So the title, I'm not going to remember the title for a lot of these, but this one I do. The one that's called The Final Order, which is the one about the guy who bites it in Vader's conference call, the Imperial officer, famously. They're having the conversation about the Falcon, and then you just see him kind of wipe out off to the side, and they all just keep talking like nothing's happened. That story is really good. I think that is probably easily my favorite of the Fakpov Empire, because it's just a really good insight about you're seeing him, and then there's another Imperial officer that he's having conversations with, and there's all this really sort of interesting stuff about service in the Empire and the cause that you're supporting and all that. There's some just really interesting conversations that happen in there. So that one I really like. A real surprise, like the surprise one for me, that I was like, if I'd gone into this, I was like, this is going to be a mid or bottom tier story, but then end up just rocking it down, is the Bosk story. I really like the Bosk story. And I think a lot of that comes to, there's a really interesting angle to that story, which is he's hunting down someone who is freeing these enslaved Wookiees, who's basically capturing slave ships of enslaved Wookiees and then setting them free. And then everybody thinks that it's a Wookiee that they're looking for, because that makes sense. And then the twist is it turns out to be a Trandoshan who's doing it. And it's like, oh, that's an interesting angle. Now there's an this goes sort of back to the Vader comic. Like, there's an interesting story now about Wookiees and Trandoshans, and they have these sort of cultural ideas that they're born and raised with about how Wookiees are supposed to be prey and all of that. And then here's this Trandoshan who's kind of bucking their culture that they're from. And it's like, oh, that's like, you use the character Bosk, and like, oh, we're using that as an angle to tell this really interesting story. So I really like that one. That one is a good one. Another one that I really like, and actually got me a little emotional at the end, is the story about the guy who thinks he's king of Bespin.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really good story, because it's got this outside angle of this guy who's sort of like maybe not right in the head because he thinks he's the king of Cloud City, and that Lando is his kind of appointed like steward of the throne, essentially. But then it becomes actually this like really sweet story about this guy who really feels this sense of duty and obligation to his people, his subjects.
Yeah.
And everybody else sort of kind of kind of going along with it. Like, it's a really good story.
Yeah.
Like, it ends up being really endearing and charming.
I remember
and I love
that
it
one.
a lot. Like, that's a really good one. I'm trying to think. Oh, the Lydia Kang's, the last one, the one with 21B.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
It's a really good story. That's also
too.
very... I mean, again, I love me a droid POV story. That's that's chum in the water for me. Like, like, I'll eat that up. So, yeah, I think those are at least some of the standouts. I'm sure there are others I'm forgetting.
Well, let's not forget that Kevin Scott finally had a dream fulfilled.
Yes.
Where he got to write Jackson and bring him back into canon.
Yes. How could we forget the Jackson story?
There's a lot. I love Hank Green's story just because I'm a fan anyway.
It's a very very
Hank Green
Hank
story.
Green does Star Wars. That's the story he'd write. Yeah.
Listen, if he never does anything else Star Wars, which I don't know why he would, that's fine.
Yeah.
God. Yeah. I'm glad that you finally got to read it. So now you've read all three of them.
All three of them.
Through. Yeah.
I'm done for now until 2039.
I still think Return of the Jedi is my favorite one.
Yes, I think it's the strongest of the bunch.
I do think it has the vibe of like, we've learned from the past to let's like do even better this time.
Yes, yeah. It again, like I said, because of the nature of the project, it has its weak spots too. Yes, but I think it has the strongest roster overall, for sure.
Cool.
All right, so there's that one, and then fourth resolution, which is to read the X-Wing books. That one is in progress. I have done not enough of them. I've only read 4 of them.
Oh.
And it's August. That's a problem.
Well, stop putting holds on other books and just read the X-Wing books. At least catch up to where, Essential Legends are.
Yes. I've gotten through the Rogue Squadron section of it, because the Essential Legends sections them off by Rogue Squadron, and then you get into Wraith Squadron, whereas in Legends, it was just X-Wing all the way through.
Right.
So I've gotten through the Rogue Squadron quadrilogy, essentially. Yeah. So Rogue Squadron through Back to War.
And we talked about it on Patreon, but you're having a good time so far.
I'm having a good time with them.
Good.
They're really good books so far. Yeah. I really enjoy... Again, we talked about this a little bit on Patreon already, so you go $1 a month. Inflation's not that bad. Go sign up for that to listen to more of our thoughts. But to sort of recap a little bit of there, I really like. I think the characters are really strong, and I think that really helps in this because they're books about pilots, so there is a lot of pew pew space battle, but it really is the book's strength rests on the characters and their relationships and the way that they're the squad and all the found family stuff we all love in Star Wars is all there. And that's what really makes the books as good as they are.
Yeah.
So I'm having good times with the Legends series.
We love to see it.
we do. It doesn't happen very often. God. So it's a good when it does happen.
Well, I'm glad you're making progress and that you're having a good time with all of it.
Yes.
That's good to see.
Yes.
I feel like you struggled more last year. I don't remember what your stuff was.
Oh, that was... I don't know. There was the novelization. There was a Legends... Oh, Thrawn.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, that's why. My blue boy.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm having a good time with this. I've been told that some Legends nonsense is coming further down.
Is it really a good source that you're getting that info from, though?
He is well versed in Legends, so in a way, it is.
Okay.
But I'll judge for myself when I get there. Every person has their own opinions and their own things that resonate with them. So, no one's necessarily an authority. No one has the final say. Everybody can... Again, like we said, you can love the 2020 Vader run. That could be your most favorite Star Wars comic ever written. And if it is, more power to you.
This is really good tea. I'm so happy.
So that's my resolutions. My progress on them thus far.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
I can't wait to start thinking about what I'm going to do for next year.
I think I've already had some ideas that I maybe have forgotten, but I'll probably rethink of them. I've definitely had ideas.
Yeah. All right. I can run through mine, but first, I want to quickly run through my resolutions from last year, which I'm happy to report I've also completed so far. We're having a much more productive Star Wars reading year this year.
We like that.
First, I wanted to catch up on High Republic comics, which I did in their entirety. I think I read everything we established, right? I think the only High Republic that I haven't read is those, young reader... You know which ones I'm talking about?
The Bury.
Yeah, those. I think other than those, I've read all High Republic.
Those are good. Can I make a suggestion when you do those?
Do the read-along thing.
Do the read-along thing.
Yeah.
Yes, because that's how I read them, and it's a really great experience.
Oh, I'm excited. That's on Hoopla, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Do the read-along.
Ooh, I'm excited. Okay, so I caught up on all the comics. Loved them. Even loved the Phase 2 stuff, which I wasn't expecting to. I really kind of just, what I did was, I had a list, I had a list of all the High Republic comics I had not read. And I just broke them up week to week. And I just read through them all. And it was a great experience. And I not only caught up on them, but I then kept up with them and finished the High Republic with the finale, which was a great way to end it. I think that was the perfect sign-off to the High Republic. I also finished New Jedi Order.
Look at you.
That was an experience. I didn't dislike it. It just was too many books with the same characters all at the same time. All the books kind of start to feel the same after a while. And they're not meant to be read as quickly and as chronologically as I did.
Yeah.
You know, you're supposed to ideally read them as they come out.
Yeah.
And then they're more tolerable, but that's not at all what I did. Overall, liked it. I like how, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but I like how they ended it as if this could have been the end of Star Wars books. Like, it was a very tight, like, leaving it open for future stuff, but also saying, like, hey, we won another war, which is not really a spoiler because you know that's how it's going to end.
Yeah.
Cool. Everyone's going off and doing their thing. Everyone's happy. But then, of course, that wasn't the end of Legends. So, I also, these last two from last year are comics related. So I wanted to finish reading the 2020 Afro comic, which I did, and I loved it. Highly recommend. Which was good timing because another Afro comic has since started. I think there have been 2 or 3 issues at this point. Chaos Agent. It's wonderful. I wouldn't say that you have to have read the previous Afro comic to like get it, but also I think like it also helps to like get to know her character and stuff. There's another Afro comic before that, right?
Yes, because there's the OG that kind of came out of the Vader comic, out of the 15 run. So I think that was maybe 2017, 16, I don't know, something like that.
Because I had read that one.
And then there's the most recent one, which is maybe 2020.
Yeah, that's the one that I finished.
Yes.
And it's 40 issues, so
Did
it's
Alyssa
a lot.
Wong do both of them? They definitely did the most recent run, but I don't know if they did OG Afra.
Who did? We gotta look it up because now I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Because I have to check now because clearly I got wrong the Vader comic. Let's see, 2020. Okay, 2020 is Alyssa Wong, that we knew. Where is the first one? Let's see.
While you're looking for that, the other one from last year was to keep up with the new comics that were coming out. And so far this year, I think I've done that. I don't think I've missed, like, because I have a list of new comics that are starting, and I think I am currently keeping up with all of those. There's still some from last year that I missed that I'm going to go back to, but the moral of the story is make lists and follow them.
All right, so it is 2016. The writers are good old Kieran Gillen. He's back, and then Simon Spurrier.
Oh, okay.
So it's one did one set of issues, another did the other. So split between two. Yes. Okay. So there we go.
Good to know. Hi. I can't play with you and your toy right now. Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm sorry. Oh, it's what? Okay.
Oh, I think that sounds like a squirrel.
That happens sometimes. Yeah, it's okay. It's just a squirrel. It's okay. Oh, now she's freaking out. All right. Anyway. So on to my resolutions for this year so far. So I'll go through all of them really quick. One is I wanted to finish my Star Wars TBR. So like I had like Star Wars books in a pile, literally, that I had, but I hadn't read yet. I wanted to catch up on that. Oh, okay. The second one was to finish New Jedi Order. I didn't actually notice that. So between last year's and this one, I finally did finish it. I think like I carried that over because I think I was only on like book 10 or 11 at the beginning of the year. So I think, or I don't remember. But okay, that was the second one. The third one was to read the Dark Nest trilogy, which is what you should read after New Jedi Order if you're gonna like keep with like the same storyline. And then along with that, the fourth one was to read Legacy of the Force, which comes after Dark Nest. So like if you want to follow these same characters and the same storylines, you would read all three of these ideally like in order. So obviously we can skip to New Jedi Order, which I already talked about and I did finish. I think I made that like my priority at the beginning of the year, which is just like you got to just finish. And part of it was waiting on the library because sometimes there were other people reading stuff and I had to wait. So that wasn't necessarily my fault. But I did finish. I think there was one or two I had to purchase like digitally because I was like the library didn't have them or it was taking too long. I think one of them was like it was literally taking too long and it was like the last one and I was just like fine. I'll spend
that doomed me early on. I think it was Wedge's Gamble or something. I had to wait a ridiculous amount of time for or something that. Yeah. One of them was just at a really long wait for the audiobook.
Yeah, it happens. You could have audibled it.
Yeah, but
I do the same thing where it's like if it's in the library, I really don't want to spend money
exactly,
on it.
exactly. Yeah. That's where I'm at. I really try to save the credits / dollars for I can't get this any other place.
Right. All right, so the next one is a little bit complicated because I wanted to finish my Star Wars TBR.
Yeah.
I did that. And then we went on the bookstore crawl for my birthday and I got more. So yes, I have done this one, but like it's kind of like an ongoing thing, you know?
Yeah, that's like, really a rolling resolution.
It kind of is. I don't always have Star Wars books physically that I haven't read yet, but like I just happen to find some and like some I'm like you're not going to find this anywhere else. Mm-hmm. You know, if you go to like a used bookstore or something. We got really lucky at the one store that we went to that we'd gone to before that only had like some.
Yeah.
And then they had like this time they had a bunch of hardcovers. Where was that? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, I think that was the first place Book's End.
Yes, Book's End.
Yeah, where they had a bunch.
They had so many.
Yeah. They also had a nice Tolkien section I cleaned out.
You got like all but one.
Oh yeah, I got all but one.
Where are the Star Wars book fans in Syracuse? Because clearly you're around. Because I keep finding stuff that you've given away, or maybe you're not book fans anymore. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. So yeah, I have like a couple of just like random like legends, like middle grade YA things that I picked up that I'm like, you're not gonna get this anywhere else unless you like sought it out on purpose. So I picked those up, and I'll get around to those because I do have a lot of Star Wars to read. Both because two Star Wars books just came out like very close to one another.
Yeah.
So it's just there was a lot to read. Yeah. The next one was I wanted to read the Dark Nest trilogy, which again comes after New Jedi Order. It's is it set 5 years after the end? Yeah, because Ben is older. Yeah, I think it's like 5 years. And I did end up reading the whole trilogy because like I read the first one and I was like, maybe I'll wait, but then I was just like, but I kind of am interested in how the rest of these books go. And it's good to read that like after the New Jedi Order because characters are in a different place mentally, spiritually, physically, all that. I like the story, and you know the characterizations are all good, and I like how it kind of very clearly leads into what's going to happen in the Legacy of the Force series, which comes next. Stuff with Jason and all that. My issue with it was that I read it too soon after New Jedi Order. And by that, I mean, like, I've been spending a lot of time with these characters and these themes and at this point in the timeline and what everyone's doing. And I need a little bit of a break. I want to jump around in Legends a little bit, you know? Like, yeah. It's an interesting time in the timeline, but also, like, we're pretty far out from, like, Return of the Jedi at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Han and Leia's kids are like in their 20s at this point.
Yeah.
So like we're pretty far out, and like I'm good, you know. Which is kind of a problem because Legacy of the Force is my last one. Technically, okay, so there are 9 books.
Yeah.
Which I know because I found all of them. When we were book hunting near my parents, right? Is that? Yeah, because we went to Prairie Archives. That's where I found them, right? Yes.
No, we found it at that antique store, remember? Where we found all those Legends hardcovers?
Yeah, but I have the paperbacks.
Oh, the paper. Yes.
Because I found they were all, like, someone must have given, like, all of theirs away.
Yes, that was pretty.
And I think that was I was looking for all of them without the Legends banner, and I think I found all but one.
Yes, that was pretty archive.
Well, because I remember because I found all the hardcovers, and I was like, oh, wait, some of these don't have the Legends banner. And I was like, oh, because there'd been duplicates, and I was like, ooh, do any of these not? And I found one that didn't have it, and I swapped them. And I was like, you can keep your Legends banner. Not that it matters, but sometimes it's like, oh, it's fun, you know?
Yeah.
Which is another thing about finding the fun Legends hardcovers. But I could have cleaned out that whole antique store shelf.
Man, that was beautiful.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I don't know did I actually post those videos or photos anywhere?
I don't know if you did.
I don't know if I did. Huh. Well, better late than never.
Yeah.
That was June. This is almost September when you're listening to this. Better late than never. Well, the show was on a break. It's not my fault.
Exactly.
Anyway. So there are 9 books. Technically, I've read 2 of them. I read the first 2 at least 10 years ago at this point. A long time ago. And maybe a little bit more than that. Yeah, I read the first 2, and I had the first 2. I don't remember anything that happens in them, so I got to read them again, and then I got to read the rest of them. Is that going to happen this year? I don't know, but that's why we're doing a check-in. For accountability reasons, maybe. I want to read them. I just wish there were audiobooks. It's just it's so much faster.
Yeah. At some point, Essential Legends Collection will get around to those, and then.
Oh yeah, because they're gonna do all of the books.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like anyway.
Yeah.
If they do, more money for them and more collecting for us.
Once we get to controversial book opinions, we can talk about that.
Oh, yeah, that's coming, too.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Oh, I just realized the new Avatar book is not in your pile.
Oh, no, it's not.
I must have put it on my shelves and didn't think about it.
Yes.
We'll have to fix it.
Yeah, bring that down.
Anyway, this is now an Avatar book podcast.
Coming to Patreon. No, not really.
I would like to reread some of them at some point. I love the Kyoshi books.
The Kyoshi books are really good.
Anyway, because it's been a while. Because I started reading those because I think they started coming out before I moved here. So it's been a minute. So yeah, we are making progress. A lot more progress than I did last year at this time.
Yeah, we both done pretty good.
We have. Again, I don't think you should ever pressure yourself to read Star Wars books if you don't want to. If there's there's a series you don't want to read, you shouldn't have to. But I like setting goals just because, like, eventually I do want to have caught up on, like, my backlog of, like, Legends and stuff. I would love to have someday read all of them because it is a finite thing. Like, it's not like canon where they're just going to keep making more. Like, there is an end point.
Yeah.
So, little by little, I would love to be able to do that. So that's kind of one of the reasons we do this, is so, like, I can keep up with Legends and mostly comics, because I've done really well with comics this year. I've gone back to a lot of older ones. I read, like, the very first, like, Leia miniseries from, like, 2015, which I loved. So yeah, again, highly recommend setting some, small, simple reading goals for yourself, because it also feels good to, like, be able to, like, check things off a list, even if you're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
I feel bad because you didn't really have much to say on those because you haven't really read.
No,
you're not in that era of Legends yet, and you've been doing you're caught up with some of the comics, the current ones.
Yes. High Republic I've gotten through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty much caught up on in that I've read them all, at least the ones that have come out this year and stuff with Phase 3 and all that. There's some one issues. There's some one shots back there that I don't think I've read.
The Claudia Gray one is really good.
Oh yeah, I have read that one.
Oh, yeah.
Quest of the Jedi, the one that got delayed like 9 times. Yeah, Quest of the Jedi. That one is very good. But I think I don't know. Did I do the Bake Off one? We have that one, but I don't know if
It's on Hoopla in like a full omnibus of like phase 1. So like you have to like find that and like find where it is in the thing and then go to it. That's how I read it.
Yeah. So I've done that, and yeah, I agree that one ended really strong. Like the High Republic comics.
Yeah.
I think had really strong and emotional endings. I think they wrapped that up. I even felt that for High Republic Adventures, which like by virtue of the person who spearheaded them, I had mixed feelings about because I have mixed feelings about a lot of his work. And that's just how it is, you know. Again,
you might not have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah.
And...
So I've done that. I'm one issue behind on Legacy of Vader.
That's really good.
Yeah, Legacy of Vader's worth it. It absolutely is. It has there's this SEO nonsense about they had to call it Legacy of Vader, but it's really good. Like it's a really good Kylo in between Last Jedi and Tross story.
I'm enjoying it a lot more than I honestly thought I would.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
and it's also it's been a nice break to get sequel storytelling.
Yes,
I like that because so much of the comic storytelling is, if you're looking in the main run, you're in, you know, right now you're in post Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
A lot of comics has been in High Republic for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And sequels is just, again, general thing is like we get the sequel stories, you know, every now and then. It's the ones we're going to get Final Order at the end of this year or something. I don't remember. November, September, or something like
October?
That. October. There we go. Yeah. So anytime we get a sequel story, it feels kind of special because we don't get those very often.
Yeah. It will be interesting to see where the comics kind of focus more of their energy now that High Republic is not ongoing. Like, is it going to be a book situation where like maybe we just get fewer comics? It's hard to say.
Yeah. Let me think about other ones. Let's see.
I haven't done Afra.
Yeah,
I don't think you're reading Jedi Knights, are you?
I am reading Jedi Knights. I'm behind.
Okay.
But I am reading. Jedi Knights is fine.
Yeah, it's strictly fine.
Yeah, it's strictly fine.
There's that one issue where like almost nothing happens. It's the one where they crash. You remember that one? Have you gotten to that one yet?
Maybe.
It's literally like the entire thing. There's like nothing happens. Which like, again, if that's what you're into. I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah.
It's just strictly fine.
Yeah, that one is fine. The Bad Batch Hyper, again, not caught up on it, but that one is good.
Yeah, and then the next one, the Codebreaker one, that's also sequel-ish, like Poe BB-8.
Oh, yeah.
That one's good. So, like, I think that there's only been, like, 2 of those so far. Those are good. I mean, it's the same. Like, Hyperspace Stories overall, I think, has been really good.
Yes.
So, whenever you get... They're just... Once one miniseries finishes, they just do another one, and they've been very good.
Yeah, I've enjoyed that again, not caught up on it, but I've been enjoying the Bad Batch run. Yeah. Other ones that I'm trying.
What else is ongoing? I'm trying to think. Afra started, but you haven't read that one yet.
Yeah. Mainline, I'm kind of behind on, but I have at least started.
Fine.
Also fine.
I think currently that's. I'm forgetting about one. No, maybe not.
I feel like that covers at least most of them.
I think so.
I mean, this year there have been one shots and things sprinkled about.
Yeah. Should we go to the problematic look? Because here, let me.
Yeah.
They'll tell me. I think something. Oh, there's a Han Solo series starting.
Oh yeah.
That's like September, maybe. So that'll be interesting. Found it. All right, let's look. After you get past all the ads. Jedi Knights. Afra. Codebreaker. Hunt for the Falcon is what I was thinking of.
Okay.
Legacy of Vader, more Jedi Knights. Oh, the hold on. I just saw it. Where'd it go? The other hyperspace stories, Tales of Terror. That first one came out not that long ago, and I enjoyed that one.
The Kit Fisto one.
Yeah.
I gotta read that one.
I enjoyed that one too. Codebreaker. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Okay, yeah, so we got them all.
yeah, that's all that's going on right now and what's coming pretty soon. So
Okay.
Your like it's not much. I think
Yeah.
only like maybe 4 or 5 comics are coming out in August, which is less compared to when all the High Republic.
Yeah, High Republic was taking up a lot of that bandwidth, and
Yeah,
I think now it's definitely gonna slow down, as judging by the amount of money that we're spending on Amazon, which is dramatically fallen because we're not getting charged pretty much every week for comics.
Yeah. I feel like not having like I love the High Republic and I loved all the comics, but I think not having that has already, I think, allowed for like a more of a variety of eras and characters. Because, you're in like the prequel era and then you go to Legacy of Vader and then you're kind of like post Return of the Jedi. It's like you're jumping around a little bit more, and I think that makes it a little more interesting. Plus, with only like one thing coming out a week, it's a little less overwhelming.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been here for a while.
An hour. We just crossed the hour mark.
Look at that. We will be back in December with this little series to talk about how the rest of the year has gone and obviously present our resolutions for 2026.
Yes.
So we got some time to think about those. And you then, therefore, you listening, also have time to think about yours. Because I think it can be a team effort. We can all cheer each other on. If there's a Star Wars comic or book series or book in general or author that you have always wanted to read, but you haven't yet, this is how you do it. I never would have read all of New Jedi Order if I hadn't like challenged myself to do it. And it took a minute, but I did it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this has been fun.
It has.
I can't tell you for sure what next week's episode is going to be about yet, but there will be one. Thanks for listening as always, and I hope you're doing well on your Star Wars reading resolutions for 2025. Almost forgot what year it was. And on that note, that's how we ended. Now This Is Lit is part of the Faraway Fandom Network. It is produced by Davor and written, hosted, and edited by me. Jose Jimenez designed our podcast art. You can keep up with the show on Substack at Now This Is Lit, and find the show wherever you get your podcasts. There are so many ways you can support the show, and all of those ways are linked in the show description. The newest way is to become a member of our Patreon. For $1 a month, you can get access to an exclusive show and a sticker. And if we get 500 people to support the Patreon per month, I can hire an editor. That would be great for me, and maybe for you too. So if you'd like to support the show with just $1 a month, you can do it that way. Or you can just keep listening and sharing the episodes. That is also helpful, and I appreciate it. For more book reviews and Star Wars Book Celebration, follow Star Wars Book Reviews on Instagram and TikTok.